Sarah, aka Creative Mommy of Two, and today I have a little update, so a little WIP and Chat. Welcome back, in case you've been here before, and welcome if you're new. I hope you had a wonderful week, and in case you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving or other holiday around this area, because there are a lot in November, December, and I can't keep track of them. So let's grab my color that is a little bit bigger, but because this is a bit annoying if I keep switching colors. So yeah, again, how was your week? I hope you had a wonderful week. Mine was a little bit stressy, a bit of everything. Because yes, you've been here before, you might have known. My husband had surgery yesterday, and thank goodness it went ahead. Because with the whole pandemic stuff going on here and the numbers rising, we were kind of afraid that they would need to reschedule it again. But luckily it wasn't necessary, so yeah. Yesterday my husband had his surgery to have his tumor removed. So yeah, we're all happy that it's done now. He's not in too much pain, but he is on a pretty high dose of painkillers, so yeah. And he is like, since it is his foot, he isn't planning on lowering the dose too quickly, because it's not a place that you want to have that to hurt you. Yeah, he's already tired of his crutches now. Because we don't have the biggest house, and it's a bit narrow at places, and yeah, he needs to have some space to move around. So yeah, he is already cursing them. But yeah, I'm glad it's done now. And the only part I wasn't as happy with is the fact that we needed to be at the hospital at 7:30. And since we live at like the other side of the country, well, not literally, lucky for us, not literally the other side of the country, because that would be like 4 hours drive. Now it was about a 2-hour drive, I believe. And yeah, you want to take a break while driving there, so yeah, the alarm clock went off at 4 o'clock. So we could drive off at 5:30, 4:30. So that we had plenty of time to get to the hospital. And yeah, take some breaks on our way there. So yeah. We ended up being at the hospital at 7:15-ish. A little bit before that, I believe. But yeah, we could get settled there. Husband was the second person on the list to be operated on. And the person that was, well, before my husband was after us in the hospital, so we needed to wait for a bit. But yeah, that's not a really bad thing. If you would be scheduled first, well, if my husband would be scheduled first, it was still a question if he could be going into surgery a bit sooner or not, because yeah, still the people who are doing the surgery needs to be there. But yeah, he went to the operating room at about 9 o'clock. Or at least he headed to surgery, because they still needed to do some like IVs and some other monitoring stuff. And when he was scheduled for 9, so they at least told that he would be like a little bit earlier there, but in the end they took him to the OR at just a little for 9. And he was back at, I think, 11:15 or so. So it was a decent amount of time that he was gone. But yeah, I was under a full anesthetic, so I can understand that it's not a thing of like 5 minutes. But yeah, later on the day, the surgeon came by to like check up and see how he was doing at that time. Because yeah, some things they will know rather quickly, so yeah, no need to wait for like a month. The surgeon said that everything went as planned. It came out like one nice mass, so it wasn't like quote unquote exciting. It looks like it's just your, yeah, how to say it, like normal thing. So like I don't think it's going to be anything, but yeah, they still send, the way he said it, we sent everything that comes out of people just to have it checked to be sure. Which I thought was funny how he said it, like everything they take out of people. But yeah, especially with tumors, you want to be sure that it is, well, it is good. He still has the chance that it can grow back. But surgeon said like it's really, really rare that it happens. It was like, yeah, it's a place where you can notice it quick enough if there's something growing. So it's like, yeah, it can be, but in case you notice that there's something growing back, well, we'll do the research again, and yeah, if necessary, we'll remove it again. So yeah, it's nice to know. But as he said, it's like really rare, so let's hope he doesn't. Well, he doesn't have it. Yeah. I really laughed with the staff there, because I need to say the staff they had at the hospital was amazing. Really kind people. Obviously, they're nurses, so they can't make it to be growling and grumpy at everybody, but still, there are some nurses that are, to say the least, not the nicest people. But yeah, the people there were really nice. It was fun. The 2 nurses that brought my husband back from the surgery, they looked at me because I was doing this painting at the table that was there, and they both looked. I was like, oh, that's fun, I do that too. But they both recently started. One of them later on even asked like what my storage system was, because she was still working out of baggies. I was like, oh, I worked that for like years. And I obviously told them about like Diamond Art Club and stuff, because they used like a discount store we have here in the Netherlands. But it was fun to see other people like, hey, I do that too. Yeah. What I needed to laugh the most with the person, well, at least one of the person that brought my husband to the surgery, was a male nurse. Not an issue with that. He was a really good guy. And really fun. He had a good sense of humor. And yeah, I was just setting up my stuff so that I had something to do while my husband was in surgery. So to kill the time a little bit. And he looked at the table and he was like, I know another idiot that does that. I have, how did he say it? I have an idiot at home that does the same. So it was funny. So my husband said later to me that he was saying like, yeah, then you have those things stuck around everywhere and you need to watch out. They're almost everywhere to be found. I'd rather have these Lego blocks because they don't stick to every part of your body. My husband was joking like, oh, I had it happen that I came out of bed and I scratched my back and I found a diamond drill behind my back. So yeah, they needed to laugh at that. You can say whatever you want about diamond painting, but it is a good icebreaker. But yeah, luckily the whole surgery went well. I'm really glad with that. So that's one less thing to worry about now. So now I just need to hope that hubby heals well. Because yeah, he's not planning on wanting to walk on crutches for a long time because he's, as I said, he's cursing them already. Yeah. But yeah, he's now having his foot in like a pressure stuff. I don't know how to call it. His leg is wrapped in. Needs to keep that on until, yeah, my case tomorrow. For you it would be today. If you watch this when it comes out, at least. But at least he needs to keep it on until Wednesday. Then he can't, have his foot wet until Friday. But he can't soak it like in the tub or anything for 2 weeks. So. But yeah. Let's grab my color. Where is it? That one. But at least that is now done. So yeah, glad with that. Treated myself on the way over to the hospital. We wanted to stretch our legs like a half hour before we got there. And we just wanted to stretch our legs. Went out on the parking lot and was like, oh, there's a Starbucks. And yeah, he was allowed to drink coffee as long as it wasn't with creamer. You could have a black coffee with sugar, but yeah, that's basically about it. Either black or with sugar. So it was like, I normally would know I would go for anything like the specials, but yeah, I am pretty limited. But I could grab whatever I wanted, so it was nice. Well, I got one of the, I think, winter specials, which was a hot chocolate brownie something. Ooh, it was delicious. It was like hot chocolate with whipped cream and then pieces of brownie on top and chocolate syrup. Ooh, it was good. It was really good. Too bad we don't have a Starbucks around us somewhere, because I would for sure get that one more often. And there's a tiny fly. Ooh, got it. Was an annoying little fly here. Yeah, my husband was like, hey, grab something to eat if you want, because yeah, he couldn't have something, but at least I could keep myself fat. I was like, ooh, it does look good, so I don't want to poke your eyes out. He was like, you can do it. Just grab something if you want. I was like, thanks. And I got a chocolate brownie. Well, no, a chocolate muffin, sorry. It looked really, really good, but I need to say it. Well, I was fairly disappointed with it. It's either the taste is not the best anyway, it's either that or it wasn't fresh at all. It tasted... The taste itself was good, but it tasted stale. Like it was really old already. And that... Yeah, I didn't like that part, obviously. So I was a bit bummed. But it was really... It was still tasty. I still ate the whole thing throughout the day, eventually. But yeah, it was pretty dense also, so it filled quite a bit. So I just took a bite every once in a while, and yeah, I had some muffin throughout the whole day. So that was also a bonus. It wasn't gone in 5 minutes, so... I need to say they had like really, really pretty looking tumblers and like these, yeah, I think also tumblers, but done with like the straws for like cold drinks and hot drinks, and they had like the whole, yeah, everything. I was like, it is that I don't use it often, otherwise I would for sure grab one. But yeah, I have no need for a tumbler because I am, yeah, most of the times at home, so I'll just grab my coffee out of a cup or a mug. Yeah. After we were able to go home, or at least my husband, let's rephrase that. After we were able to get out of the hospital, and we drove to my parents to pick up the kids because we dropped them off at my parents for on Sunday, so they could sleep there, because my parents-in-law are a bit, yeah, how to see it nicely, strange with sleeping and stuff. So we're like, yeah, my parents don't mind, we'll just drop them off there and don't make any fuss out of it or anything. Yeah, it was strange to have them gone for a day, and at the same time it was really, really nice, because it was the first time since I had my daughter that I had none of my kids around for more than half a day. Because it sometimes happens that like there is company coming over that needs to fix something in the house, that are like, that's too noisy, drop them off at my in-laws just for a couple of hours, and that's basically about it. Yeah, when I had my son, my daughter was gone for 2 days because I needed to stay in the hospital because I had a C-section, and they wanted me to stay there at least till the Monday. But I almost want to say as soon as I got up I could go if I wanted. But yeah, and at the time I was having my son, so I was a little bit preoccupied. And yeah, I haven't been away from him for like longer than a few hours. So yeah, it was pretty strange. But yeah, we're both having like, as soon as the whole annoying bug thing is at least slowing down a bit again, we'll try to set up at my parents that he can come and sleep there again, because it apparently went pretty well. My son has lately that he doesn't want to sleep at night, because I'm also filming that it is now like almost 9:30 here, so yeah, he absolutely didn't want to sleep. I went up again like 15 minutes, 10 minutes before 9. Changed his diaper again. and put him back in bed again to try if that helped, and luckily it did. Because I was fearing it was one of those days where he would not want to go to sleep. But luckily he did. Yeah, and he has also his days where he is like screaming his little head off at like 4 o'clock at night. And keeping me up if I'm really unlucky. So yeah, we feared that he would do that at my parents' house. But especially my dad was like, oh well, if that is true, then well, tough luck. And he would just take a nap during the day. But he went up at like 7 o'clock, which is his normal bedtime. And apparently also my daughter wanted to go to bed at that time, so they were like, fine by me. And it was quiet at 7:15-ish, so yeah, they were quite good. I believe my dad said he got my son out of bed at 7:30-ish, because he was standing in his bed and yeah, it was he was jumping up and down and yeah, being the little tiny tank he is. So yeah, then it was time for him to get out of bed. And also in the afternoon he took a good nap, so yeah, that was nice. Yeah, that's basically the thing my husband and I were more nervous about than the surgery itself. The kids having a good time and sleeping decent. My daughter had a blast because she could sleep in a really big bed. Like I don't know how you call it, but it's like 1 meter 61, I believe. If not 180. So yeah, she looked really tiny in a huge bed. Which was fun. Because my parents bought a new bed for themselves like a few months ago. And they were like, yeah, we'll just put the old bed upstairs. So if the kids want to come to sleep or need to come to sleep for some reason, they have a bed. Or at least for now, my daughter, because my son is not that smart of an idea to put him in a regular bed. He's a bit too small, so let's not do that before we have a little bit of issues. Because yeah, he is a tiny tank. So yeah, we're really, really lucky with that. And for the rest, last week was not that exciting because yeah, most of the things we did in the weekend was like prepping for the kids to go to my parents, my husband to have a surgery and stuff like that, so not much going on there. I did, however, got really, really, really lucky. My husband and I decided to buy some diamond paintings for the Black Friday sale. I wasn't that which one to get. I had one I really wanted, so it was like, as long as that one stays on the list, it's fine by me. I was like, I don't know what to get exactly. Let him see everything, like if there's anything that he likes the image of or anything. He was like, don't know. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make it a little bit easier in the things I like. I'm just going to put in the shopping cart and you can see from there like what's better, because I don't want to spend like hundreds of euros. And yeah, I gave him a laptop and I was like, well, have fun. I'll see whatever you decide. I was like, yeah, I was like saying to him like, hey, if there are there are a few things there that are pre-sale, so in case you see that standing there, and there would be left like 4 images or one over the free shipping amount. Like, hey, we can also split it in like 2 orders, so that the pre-ordered things will come whenever they're ready, and the other things will come later. Can come now. So he was like, yeah, where do I see it? And I was like, yeah, there you can see it. He was like, okay, good. And he was looking around, and later on, he wanted to check something and went back and was like looking and deciding and doing. And yeah, I said before there were a few I was debating on if I would or wouldn't put them on the list. So yeah, a little bit later, he turned the laptop to me like, here, you can order this. I was like, hey, but you took out the one that I really wanted. He was like, check the next page. And I looked and was like, oh, you made 2 separate orders. And I looked and he had selected 8 different diamond paintings for me to do. So basically my whole wish list, well, bought right there. So I was like, whoa, thank you. At first I wanted to wait also a bit for like Cyber Monday if they would do extra releases or anything. But I was like, yeah, I was just gonna do that. And yeah, I was really grateful with my husband. Obviously, when they did their second release with like the other, what were they, 20 releases, I saw some and I was like, those are nice. But yeah, not going to do that. Also was debating yesterday for the Cyber Monday deals because that was also a pretty decent deal. 30% off. And I was like, yeah, no, let's not do that. I have 8 coming. So yeah, we decided to not do that because I still have a few that I really, really, really would like to have. But yeah. So yeah, hopefully somewhere in the next week they at least get underway, because as of now, they are not shipped. Sniff. But yeah, I'm just somewhat impatiently waiting. But yeah, I got my last order in last week, so that's all pre-filmed and all. So at least from this Friday on, for 3 weeks in a row, you have at least something to watch as unboxings. And I think I have this diamond painting completed also this week, or at least I'm planning to, because the dresser I have everything in is a little bit full at the moment, because I have too much things I'm doing at the same time, and my upstairs project also got moved down, so my husband had some space upstairs, because yeah, for him it's the easiest to lay on the bed, especially in the evening, so his foot is a bit higher up. It's more comfortable for him, because otherwise it sometimes will give him a tingle in his foot. So yeah, I moved that downstairs, and that will be my next WIP and Chat project. So next week probably you will see the beast. Either that or I will do another latch shooting video. I need to see what I want to do next week. Yeah. But yeah, the Black Friday releases will be here, I hope, probably before the other unboxings are all up, or well, right after. So maybe there will be 1 week without, but Well, so I think I will be doing this review like as an extra video, because otherwise it would take like a month before I could do it. And yeah. And hey, it gives me an extra video a week. Yeah. I am thinking of next week doing another, well, Dutch video to say, like to basically do some translations of things. So I don't know if you would be excuse me, interested in like certain themes. Like, would you want to learn how to count in Dutch? Or would you like to know like random words, or yeah, whatever. Because I'm thinking about that, at least unless I have like a really interesting week going up. But yeah, I think the only thing that will be happening here is Sinterklaas, which means lots of presents for the kids, and for the rest, yeah, taking care of the kids, taking care of my husband because he's not able to do that much at the moment. And yeah, basically keep on doing whatever I normally do. So yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it with that today, because yeah, the rambles are long enough for today. But yeah, you know me. If you've been here before, you know I am a rambly kind of person. And if you don't like it, you shouldn't watch my WIP and Chats. You might enjoy my time lapses better, because they're with music and not with my rambling. But yeah, I am going to leave you now. I hope you find this video was at least a bit interesting, and I hope you liked the video. If you did, well, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment if there's anything you want me to know, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.